Rudy's gonna come down, he's making reservations, he just flew in.
Yeah, Danny, what's up?
Okay. We ready, Wayno? Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody out here tonight. Thanks for coming. Generally, we have a bigger crowd than this, but a couple of guys got hung up tonight doing the things that they needed to do. So I appreciate everybody coming. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here tonight. I've been traveling pretty much in Southeast Asia the last couple of weeks. I was in Arizona the first part of this week, doing all synergy business because I just need to travel and see people and tell people about this product and what it does. It's just incredible what our product does. And so we're going to have some testimonials tonight. And then Rudy at the end is going to talk about the business aspect of synergy. So that'll be good. And we have everything set up for everyone as far as being able to do the business. It's never been easier. Would you say that's right, Wayne?
Exactly. It never has been.
It's never been easier. And I'm getting emails all the time, people telling me about what the product's doing for them, how amazing the product is. And that's why I go out and do what I do, because the product works. It absolutely works to help people. And when you can make money and help people, to me, that's probably the best combination that I could ever be involved with. And so I got out of traditional business to be able to do this, because I got upset with traditional business because management and those people that run the companies, they kind of insulate themselves so they never have to, get in trouble and take the fall. They always have people in front of them protecting themselves. And it was always a struggle. I love my job, but I've loved synergy and going out and introducing this product to as many people as I possibly can. I had an interesting experience 2 days ago. Today, Thursday? Yeah, Tuesday. I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I was at a spring training game with the Milwaukee Brewers. My brother's the first base coach for the Milwaukee Brewers, and they were playing the San Francisco Giants that day. And a friend of mine is the manager for the San Francisco Giants. His name's Bruce Bochy. And he and I were teammates when I played my last year of baseball with the San Diego Padres. So I saw him coming across the field. I was waiting for him. And so I saw him coming across the field. And he was all by himself. So I ran out there and I saw him. I said, "Hey, Bruce." He goes, "Hey, Dane, how you doing? Never expected you to be here. You down here seeing your brother?" I go, "Yeah, I'm down here seeing my brother. But I want to tell you what I'm doing." And so I introduced him I introduced him to Pro-Arginine Plus and told him about what it does. He goes, "Hey, Dave, I need something." He said, "Man, I don't feel good. I need something to help me." I didn't exactly tell me what he had or what his problem was, but he said, "Oh, man," he says, "so this really works." I said, "Absolutely it works, no question." And so today I sent him off some product, and we'll see where that goes. But everywhere I go, I tell people about this. I was sitting next to a guy, and his father-in-law was owned 10% of the Milwaukee Brewers. I had tickets right on the second row, and I don't know, my brother got me pretty good tickets that day. So I'm sitting right next to the son-in-law of the guy who owns 10% of the Brewers. And he was telling me that he lives in Tucson because he loves to hike, and he moved from Minnesota, and telling me everything. And he says, "What do you do?" I said, I market a product that reverses and prevents cardiovascular disease. He goes, "You got to be kidding me." I go, "No, it's absolutely true." I said, it's based on the Nobel Prize that was won in 1998 by Dr. Louis Ignarro and two of his people that worked with him. We have the best formulation in the world. It's listed in the physician's desk reference book, all this stuff. And he goes, "Hey, would you give me your name and your number and your email?" He said, "I'd really like to contact you about this." And so that's what I do. Everywhere I go, I tell people about Pro-Arginine Plus. That's exactly what I do. I went to Vietnam, and there's a lady over there who's one of the top pop singers in all of Vietnam. Her name is Duran Twain or something like that. And she's really, really, what was her name, Steve?
I forget.
Huh?
Tram.
Tran?
Tram.
Duran Tran or something like that. And so I had to fly to Bangkok, then I had to fly to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and then I had to fly back to Ho Chi Minh City. And so I went in to get my reservations at one of the Vietnam Airlines there. Eric, Glenn and I went in, and I asked this lady, I'm finding out, is this true? Is this lady really this popular? And so I asked one of the ladies who was doing my tickets at the office there for Vietnam Airlines, and I said, have you ever heard of this Duran Tran or something? You know, I don't want this recording going to Vietnam. Her husband might get really upset with me because I can't pronounce her name properly. But I said, do you know this lady? Oh, yeah. She said, she's one of the most popular singers in Vietnam. Everybody knows her. Then I'd go someplace else. You know this lady? Oh, yeah, everybody knows her. Her husband's from Sweden. They're expecting a baby. They knew all about it. And so we've already signed her husband up and her up, and a couple of other people that work with her husband in doing former businesses that now they want to do this. And so Eric and I met with her husband probably 4 or 5 times over the 4 or 5 days that we spent in Vietnam. And he's really excited. So I've got to go back there in May to do some more meetings. But, you know, everywhere I go, I tell people about Synergy. I'm in Malaysia. We do 3 meetings. I can't remember the name of the cities. Can't remember the first one, but I was in Kuala Lumpur. Then I went to Quang Tron. I think that's the name of it. And there's, you know, in Quang Tron, we had like over 100 people at our meeting. And so the word's getting out. We're getting better and better at doing this because we're having so much success. I mean, when Lillian brought Nona and Victor in here, and I know Jerry knows this, I mean, they're from the Philippines. Lillian had them come to Utah, and they met with the corporate people at Synergy, went down and took them through the manufacturing plant. And I talked to Victor about that, who has a pharmaceutical background. He said he walked into the plant and he thought he'd smell all this chemical stuff. That's what he was afraid of. But he said he never smelled any of that, but it was all natural stuff that he was smelling. And he was so impressed with the manufacturing facility that Nature, Sunshine, and Synergy has, that really impressed him. And that was one of the big reasons why he joined the company. Is that right,
Yes.
Lillian? I mean, he was really impressed. And we went back up and we introduced him to Dan Norman, Dan Higginson, Stu Rutter, all the people who run Synergy. And they were really impressed with that. But prior to doing all this, we gave some product to his wife, Nona, and Victor had some too. And Nona had been struggling with her health a little bit, and Lillian knows a lot more about what her health issues were than what I know. And man, she was real talkative when we took her to lunch, and she said, man, I don't act like this normally. And she finally came alive. Her personality started coming out. And that's how fast this works sometimes. It's just amazing what happens. And Victor's had a good experience. And I told them about Synergy. I said, why would you want to build with a company that can't support you? I think Victor's built like 3 big organizations in the Philippines, and they've all disappeared on it because of different reasons. But Synergy's been in business for over 13 years. You have the best product in the world. You know, we have a company that does, you know, over 100 million. Synergy does. Nature, Sunshine, I don't know how much they do. Another, what, about 200 or 300 million. They have over $100 million in liquid assets. We have the best manufacturing facility in the world. We have the best products in the world. And Victor was really impressed. And now he's in the Philippines and he's starting to build his Synergy business. And this is happening all over the world. I go to Bangkok, Thailand. Same thing happens to me. They bring in these people that now want to become associated with Synergy because they understand how important it is to be with a company that's going to be here long term for them and that they can depend on. So many of these companies are fly-by-night companies. You know, they're changing the compensation plan. They have a product that doesn't have scientific studies behind it. You have all kinds of different things that don't work. We have everything that we need to be successful in this business. We have a product that's scientifically and medically proven. Nobody can deny what we have. We have a product that works every time with cardiovascular disease. It might take some time occasionally, but it will eventually work. It's the best product in the world as far as I'm concerned. We have a company that's out of debt. There's no debt. It's associated with Nature's Sunshine, who all people know that Nature's Sunshine manufactures the best products in the world. There's no question about that. I know Synergy doesn't say this publicly, but they took 10 products that supposedly create nitric oxide that are produced by our competitors. Did you know this, Bob?
Yeah.
And they engineered it. They wanted to find out if really what was in the product was what was on the label. And so they checked it, and not one of them had the same product in the bottle that was on the label. Not one of them. Either there's less arginine, there's less other products in there, there's more of something, less of another. Synergy's the only one whose label meets its product that's in the can or in the packet. And so that's important to me. You know, hi Eric, I was in the lumber business prior to this. And in the lumber business, everybody sold the same thing. I know you bought lumber hut before, right, Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no secrets in the lumber business. You buy it for a certain price, you sell it for another price, and if they like you, they buy it from you because there's no advantage. Maybe you have a little bit better service. And I was in that war for 17 years, fighting to sell my lumber. And I had nothing better than anybody else. And so it was always, you know, the cheapest price unless they really liked you. And that was a battle that was always tough to win. What I like about Synergy is we're way beyond what the competition produces compared to what we produce. I mean, there's no question what we have. We're in the physician's desk reference and all that stuff. And Eric's the guy who went over there to Vietnam with. Eric,
Yeah, baby.
did we have a good time?
Oh, you all need to come with us. It was so much fun, man. It was so much fun.
I mean, I love it over there, but I love it here as well. I get to tell everybody that I meet about Pro Arginine Plus and about Synergy. And they either can take my word for it or not. But like and now this really came from Lillian, okay? And I forgot originally who made this remark, but Lillian reminded me, Jerry, okay?
And she
And
was.
she was in the Philippines and she stood before a big group of people and she said, every time we tell somebody about Pro Arginine Plus, we're doing them a favor. And you know what? I absolutely believe that. We are doing people a favor when we tell them about Pro Arginine Plus. I honestly believe that. No question. Eric and I, every airport we went in, every time we flew, every opportunity we had, we told people, didn't we, Eric?
Every meeting we still had.
We
Everything
still
we do,
I
everybody
mean,
we
we're
meet.
flying, that guy from Norway. We're
Yeah.
flying with this guy who was selling fertilizer into Russia.
Yeah.
And where did we fly with him from?
I think it was from Ho Chi Minh to Bangkok.
Okay, wherever it was. And we're telling him about Pro Arginine Plus. And he wants to get some, he's interested.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really interested because he was a health guy. You could see it. I mean, he was fit, he was trim.
How
He
about the
looked
guy we
great.
met today? He wants some.
Oh, yeah, Jim Herman. Yeah, he forgot to get it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get it to
Yeah, I
him.
know, we would get, but every time we go someplace, this is what we tell people, because I know it works. I absolutely know it works. If people use it, they're gonna feel better. I wouldn't go see my buddy, who was the manager of the San Francisco Giants now, won 2 out of 3 World Series. The last 3 years, he's won 2 World Series. I wouldn't tell him about this unless I absolutely believed in the product. That's the only reason I do it. And so, you know, what we have is amazing. We just have to take advantage of it. And I know it's difficult. It's hard. It's hard to build this business sometimes, but it's not impossible. It can be done if we have the right tools. And every time I go someplace, I have my briefcase with me. I have the flyers that Bob's produced for us. I have the CD, High Desert Heart Institute. I have that with me. I have product, and I have water bottle. And everywhere I go, I tell people about it. And they say, what does it taste like? I go, I'll mix you up one right now. Go out in my car, get the water, pour a little out, put it in, and let them try it. Because I know it will work for them. And that's really how we build a business, is getting out there and telling people about it. And once they understand that it works, like, who was I talking to today? There was somebody I was talking to, and he said, well, you know, I really can't tell anybody about it until I know it works. I got to feel something. I got to feel like it's working for me. I go, absolutely right. How could you sell something that you didn't believe in, that you didn't trust in? So I can't even remember who it was. I see so many of these people. I say, here's the product, here's some information, give me your card and I'll call you. And that's how we do the business. It's a real simple business. You just got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You know, I played professional baseball. I think at the big leagues I was 27. But I was a really good hitter when I was 20, 21, 22, all through there. But I couldn't hit big league pitching because I'd never seen it before. And it irritates me because I was a good hitter. But I had to learn how to do it. And it took me longer than most. Just like in synergy, it's taken me longer than most to reach these highest levels. But I just keep working at it and working at it. And I still work at it. But, you know, I had to learn how to do it. How did I learn how to do it? I had to go at bat. I had to hit against the pitchers in A ball. Then you go to double A. I had to learn how to hit the pitchers in double A. Then I go to triple A. I had to learn how to hit the pitchers in triple A. That prepared me for the big leagues. I couldn't just go from college to the big leagues because I needed that training in the minor leagues in order to get up there and hit off of a Tom Seaver, a Nolan Ryan, or Steve Carlton, all these guys in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying I hit them every time I got base hits off them eventually. That's what I had to learn. It's the same thing with this business. You know, my sister-in-law, she says, oh, Dane, I don't know enough. I got to get trained better. Well, you get trained by going out and talking to people and telling them about it. If you don't know the answer, you call somebody and find out what the answer is. But the most important thing to do is get out there and talk to people about it. And they'll ask you questions you may not know, but that's how you learn. That's how I learned. Remember, I had this guy, really wealthy guy, lived up in London. I really wanted to recruit him. I really wanted to talk to him about this. And I called him up, and he was way above me. And when he asked me questions I had no clue about. And he said, oh, I'm feeling really good, Dan. I really don't need anything. I'm taking a product I'm really satisfied with. And I go, well, yeah, you know, maybe you better still have fun. When I got that, I just completely blew it. And so the whole day I'm mad at myself. Why did I say this? Why did I say that? I felt so stupid talking to him. And you know, but I learned. I learned how, you know, I just became better. I learned how to answer these questions, how to fight off some of these excuses people have. I learned how to do it. That's the only way we're going to learn. I remember I was in the lumber business. And my boss says, what do you think, Dane? I said, I'm sick of this office. Let me go out. Let me go find out what I'm going to face out in the real world. He said, you ready? I said, no, but let me go. I'll get ready. And so I went out, and I wasn't prepared. And they asked me all kinds of stuff I had no clue about. And I'd come back and ask the guys. I'd get the answers, and I'd go back out. That's the way it is with this business. We can find the answers. And we have everything set up for anybody to be successful. Bob works full time. If you have questions, you ask Bob. And he can always get the answer for you. If you need things, if you need tools, you need pamphlets, if you need brochures, if you need CDs, whatever you need, you can get them from Bob. If you need to be trained, we have the Team 6 training program. We'll train you. Eric, you looked at that, right?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It was awesome, man. I got people on it right now.
Okay, so we can train you. Josh, you've been through it. It's a good training program, don't you? It's not going to teach you everything, right, Josh?
Well, yeah, but it's incredible. Yeah, just you get the basics down, and then you start learning more and more and more. And it's a big action program.
But it prepares you to do it, don't you think,
Yeah.
Josh? It prepares you. We have the training program. We can put our people in. All you have to do is say, hey, man, Dane, you know, somebody will say, yeah, I want to do the business. My brother, he's the coach for the Brewers. He called me up and said, Dane, Patty and I would like to do this business. I said, Garth, get in the training program. You and Patty get in the training program. Oh, that'd be great. We'd love it. And so they got onto the training program. Now they'll keep doing it. And they'll do it again and again. But you've got to get out there and get in front of people. That's the only way you're going to do it. Wayne did it the other day with that lady. I'm going to have her read the testimonial. You have that with you, Wayne?
I do.
Let's read it, okay? Let's just set this up. Wayne's out at a supermarket. Were you at Costco, Wayne?
Yeah.
He was at Costco. And just tell them the story, Wayne.
Okay, briefly, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm copying the perfect example, Dane.
Let me tell you.
I want to inspire everyone here and everyone that's listening to this how important it is to just open your mouth and tell people. There's lots of people out there that want to know and are looking for the products we have. And this lady I bumped into at Costco, I couldn't read the date on a product, and I asked her to help me. She started complaining about her high blood pressure and how it's affected her, and I've been looking for 2 weeks or so trying to find something that would help me. I don't want to be on this medication. So I started talking about Pro-Arginine. Ended up in the parking lot. We were drinking Pro-Arginine together. And
How come? Because you had the tools, right?
I had everything with me.
Yeah.
I had the brochures, everything. So I follow up with her the next day and get her on the product, give her a box of Pro-Arginine and get her started for a couple of weeks. And she's said to me at Costco, I've been looking for an answer for 2 weeks, and you're the one. In the parking lot, she had tears in her eyes and says, you're the one that answered my prayer. How would that make you feel? Well, anyway, it ended up, I tried to get her to the meeting tonight, and she said, I have an appointment. This is what she texted me. She said, I asked her about the product, how's it going? And she said, it's good stuff. I don't take my medication anymore, and my blood pressure is perfect. She's only been taking a week or so.
That's awesome, man.
And she's already found what she's been looking for. Everyone, if we just open our mouth, everybody, there's thousands of people are looking for our product. Something natural, that's not a drug, that has no side effects, that can help them with their health issues. That's just one example. So I'm following the best example of Dane.
Yeah.
I had the same situation this week. I had a lady that called me maybe 2 months ago. She said, my husband's been taking Pro-Arginine Plus, and it's really helping him, but he's got this nagging cough he's had for 20 years. What can I do differently? And I said, he's probably lacking a little bit in nutrition. Once you open up blood flow, why don't you try some cord greens? And cord greens. It's a green product that we have, and it's the best green product that's produced. I had some ladies in Cape Cod, and these ladies are nutritional experts. I mean, real experts. I mean, they know nutrition better than anybody that I know, okay?
Yes.
They're associated with Cream Brandy. If you know Cream Brandy, you know they know nutrition. And so she tells me our green product's the best product in the world, and that everybody should be taking it. So I told this lady, I said, well, if he hasn't gotten rid of the cough, why don't you try to put some cord greens with it? And she says, I'm going to do that. Well, I got an email from her the other day, and she says, Dane, I love you. My husband's been coughing for 20 years, and it's been bothering me to death for 20 years. His nagging cough. And she said, it's finally gone. I can't thank you enough for telling me about cord greens. And so all these things that we have at our disposal to help people, all we have to do is open our mouth. Eric and I, we traveled together. How many days, Eric?
Oh, man.
10 or 11. I got so sick, Eric. I'm just kidding. But everywhere we go, we're talking to people. We're telling everybody about this. And he's in a meeting upstairs in the office in Synergy in Ho Chi Minh City. I'm downstairs. We're
Talking to
doing
people,
meeting
telling them.
after meeting after. It was just incredible what's going on over there. we can do the same thing here. I had my neighbor call me today, Jennifer Williamson, you know Todd, and she says, hey, I need some more of that E9. So she came over and got boxes of E9. My neighbor here buys it from me. And I try to keep it out of my neighborhood because I just don't do as much in my neighborhood, I should say, because they all go to the same church, and and I kind of want to.
And everyone can afford it here and stuff.
Yeah, they can afford it. Yeah, they can afford it. But I get people calling me all the time about the product, and so it's just been amazing. And so that was a great testimonial. Here Wayne opens up his mouth in Costco and has this lady off of her medication. Her blood pressure is normal. She's only been on product for a week, all natural, no harmful side effects, and she's happy, isn't she, Mike?
Thrilled.
Thrilled. Okay, so that's what we do. That's the reason it works. And who else do we need a testimony from?
Bob.
Bob,
Bob
would you
was-
give us a testimony? Come on, Bob, get up here. Camera, turn that camera off, Wayne.
All right, got it.
My name's Bob Bauer. I've been friends with Lillian and Jerry for forever. I came back from Korea 3 years ago, and I was not a healthy person. And I got into the product. I started using the product, and it was really doing me well. And then, like an idiot, I stopped taking it. And later on, I was diagnosed I was diabetic, and I had high blood pressure, and it was a mess. So I started taking Pralzinine again, and my 1AC was at 7.8 when I was diagnosed diabetic, and as of now, my 1AC is at 6.3. I take Pralzinine 2 times in the morning, or 2 ounces in the morning, 2 ounces in the afternoon, and then 2 ounces in the evening. So I take a lot of Pralzinine in a day. I don't think I could go a day without taking it, because the fact is, it has helped me with my diabetes. I have 2 people that work with me. I work for the government. I have 2 people in my office that have diabetes as well, and their 1AC is 8.1 and 8.3. And I told them, I said, guys, what is it that you don't understand? I've showed you a product that can take you down to normal levels. So it was funny, I got an email from Ken the other day, yesterday. He says, what is that name of that stuff that you were taking at work? So I said, it's Pralzinine made by Synergy. So when I saw him today at work, I asked him, I said, well, why are you asking? He said, because I want to let my wife to know about it. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do you one better. I'll bring you the CD Monday, and you can take it home and let your wife listen to it. So like you said, you talk. I'm not even, I don't even do this for a living. I'm an ammunition inspector. But if you sit there and you talk to people about what it's done for you, like I said to you earlier, I have a friend in Germany. Like I told her, I said, you cannot sell something that you don't use yourself. You have to know what it does for you, because it might not do to you what it does for me. You notice I don't wear my glasses. When I came back, I couldn't see. And I had to wear glasses to drive. I started taking Pralzinine, and when I did my driver's test, and I couldn't see, so I took my glasses off, and all of a sudden I could see. So I did my physical at the depot, and I was talking to this PFC, and I told him about Pralzinine, about how it helps the arteries and how it helps the eyes. He told me that these glasses are no good. He says, when I did my eye test, he says, your eyes have changed so immense from last year. He says, your glasses are not doing you any good. He says, so you need to go back to the doctor and get new glasses. So by taking this product has also helped my eyes. So not only has it helped me with my diabetes, but my eyes, it just gives you a lot more energy. You know, I mean, all I can say is, like Dane says, just go ahead and talk about it. I mean, I'm just starting to go out and build this business, and I do want to talk to you about this some things later on, just before we leave. But I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna have Steve come up here because he can talk to us about Chris North. And I wanted Chris to come here tonight. He was suffering with post-traumatic stress. And Bob and I was over getting my hair cut. And there was a lady there that was about 4 or 5, 6 months pregnant, right over here, just 3 blocks from my house. I was getting my hair cut. And I know the girls in there because I go in there enough to get my hair cut. So I'm pretty familiar with them all, and I tease them. And we have a good time in there. But this girl was in there, and I said, "How you doing?" She says, "I'm not doing very well. You know, I got some struggles I'm going through." And it turns out that her husband had post-traumatic stress, and he came back from Afghanistan, had all kinds of problems. I put him on the product, and then Wayne's met him, and then Steve's met him also. So Steve, I want you to come up here and just tell us. We had lunch with Chris. His name's Chris. He was going to be here tonight. He's on a SWAT team, and he's out on duty right now. I guess he's got an issue. He's got to be out working, but he wanted to come tonight. So this is Steve Clark. He's one of my really good buddies, and he can talk about it.
Dane put me on the spot. He didn't tell me I'd be speaking or saying.
I know. I'm sorry, Steve.
But
Sorry, buddy.
we had just talked about this Chris North and what it had done for him, and it caught my attention because I used to have a foundation where I raised money for the armed forces,
Hundreds of
for
thousands.
military men and women, and I was looking into it again about 3 years ago, and the fact of the matter is about 8 veterans commit suicide a day right now. That's the reality of what PTSD does. So Dane got telling me, I said, well, we need to meet with this guy, and I'd like to hear his story, because with some of my contacts and stuff I'd previously done, I think we can maybe have a huge impact and help these people, because it's just terrible what they deal with. Anyway, so we met, it's been what, 5, 6 weeks ago is all. And, you know, Dane had kind of given me an idea of what had gone on, but to hear this guy tell me he was on 11 different prescriptions, he had basically been a non-functioning human being, he had thought about suicide, he was basically, his wife was ready to leave him, they had separated a little bit here and there. He just kept asking himself, do I have to continue to live like this, is what he said. And so Dane had given his wife the proarginine, and, you know, she was hesitant at first, and he was real hesitant, because he's like, you know, there we go, something else. So I think it took probably a month or maybe 2 till he finally took it. But to hear him tell you that 2 days later, he noticed a difference. Within 3 to 4 days, without talking to his doctors or anything, he believed it enough. He stopped all his medications. He's alert. He's happy. His wife said she actually likes him again. I mean, it changed his life. The guy was an alcoholic, trying to cope with the PTSD and the nightmares he would have, and just, you know, what they lived through is just, I don't think we could understand it. But anyway, it was just incredible to hear that this product, you know, I know things it does vascularly, at least I've heard, but to hear that and to see that this could make a difference in somebody's life like that is just incredible. So we're seeing what we can do to get it out to a lot more of them.
Awesome.
When Steve and I met with Chris, we said, we'd like you to come. And we had this night for him to come. And I said, do you feel comfortable talking about the experience? And he said, yeah. He said, I want to share with my story with as many people as I possibly can. He wants to talk to other people that he fought with in Afghanistan and hopefully get them taking the product. Steve raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for veterans. And he's been on stage with all these people, hand over checks, because of the feelings that he has toward our veterans that allow us to do what we do, because they'll go out and fight for us. And Jerry did the same thing for us, and I don't know who else in here, But these are my heroes. These are my true heroes, guys that will go out and do that. And I'm just so sorry he didn't show up tonight. And he just texted me and apologized that he couldn't do this. So we have all this stuff going on, and all kinds of avenues, different avenues, the way that we can go with our product. We talked about diabetes. We talk about heart disease. We talk about post-traumatic stress. I mean, Rusty Beauchard, the guy I had here last time, he had back problems, he had knee problems, he had all these problems. He has no more pain anymore. What's that worth? I mean, what's it worth for people? The great thing about Synergy, they have a 120-day money-back guarantee. What does anybody have to lose? If it doesn't work, they get their money back. To me, that's the best guarantee in the world. And they'll return it for anything. If the color of the bottle or the can, you don't like the color, tell them you don't like the color, they'll give you the money back. And you know what? What's the return rate, Rudy? Do you know?
It's small.
Less than 1%.
It's less than 1%. In the lumber business, if we had that, that would have been incredible. I'm telling you, that's unheard of in our business. 1% return rate. So, you know, I want Bob to talk about what we do for our distributors. That's really what I want to talk to him about. But I want Eric to come up. Eric is a pearl in Synergy, and he and I have too much fun when we travel. To be honest with you, he's goofy. But he's a good goofy. He's really good. And so I want him to talk, you know, a little bit about how he approaches people and the things that he does. And I've kind of asked him to come speak to us tonight. Eric is, you know, one of my best friends in all Synergy. And we have, like I said, we have too much fun together. He's an awesome guy. I love to be around him and hang out with him and talk to people with him. So come on up.
Okay,
Eric.
let's do that.
And Eric's been really successful in other businesses, but this is what he does now.
Yeah, brother. Hey, I had so much fun. How many of you have anybody had the chance to hang with Dane very much? How many of you had the chance? Is he awesome or what? Let's hear it for Dane. He rocks. The man rocks. Two-time World Series champion. Let's hear it for him again. You know, when we're out, when we're talking to people, like today, you know, I have a business partner friend of mine. His name's Dan Taggart. He's a brilliant guy. Isn't he a brilliant guy? Brilliant guy. He started a little company called InfoBases, sold it off to a company, and then he started another little company called Ancestry.com, and turned that into, yeah, it's a $1 billion company now. And, you know, I work with him, we do lots of stuff together, and it was interesting because we're sitting there and, you know, Dane comes over to the office and we were talking a little bit, and Dane said, well, why don't you come with us and be in Synergy with us? And Dane says, well, Eric's not invited me yet.
Dan said that.
Yeah, Dan said that. Dan said, Eric's not invited me yet. And I said, no, I haven't. And I told him, I says, yeah, I'd love that. So today I had to go early and sit with him and explain to him how to get the money in the plan, you know, what to do, what he needs to do in order to do that, because now he wants to join me. Like, crap, I've got to be honest, it's a pain in the bum, you know, because now he's going to want to do it all the time, and I do it enough, you know, and I got to be with him a lot, and that's going to, God, he's going to suck up my time.
I'm feeling bad for you.
He's a great guy. Okay, he's a great guy. Let me tell you why people. My opinion of why people join Synergy. Okay, why you're here. You know, why Dane? Why is Dane so successful? Why do you think people want? Is he like a human magnet?
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. Comes to a group of people. He's like a stinking magnet. Everybody comes to him. Why is that? Why does that happen? What do you think it is inside of him? What do you think that is? I think it comes from, you know, hopefully he shared with all of you before his experience of being as a young boy, growing up and desiring to be a baseball hero. You know, that's what he dreamed of when he was a little tiny tot. He dreamed of being a baseball star. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't tell anybody about it. Why do you think that is? What happens when you tell somebody you want to do something that they don't know anybody who's done it. What do they tell you?
Can't do it.
You can't do it. You're one of us. No, but he didn't do that. He didn't tell nobody because he knew in his heart that's what he wanted to do. And he stayed with that belief system and he kept at it. And he did the things it took to make it happen, didn't he? How do you think he stayed longer in field than other kids? What do you think he did all day? I can just see him. Can you just see him as a kid throwing the ball, having his mitt all day long, right? Can you see him doing that? Did you see him out in his backyard throwing the ball up, go all day long? I can see him doing that. You did that all the time, didn't you?
All the time.
Well, see, I told you. You can see him doing it. Well, what do you think it takes to be successful in something? You know, even after he made it, he still had to work like crazy to get to be where he was in that kind of business. And when he retired from that, he had to start all over again. Did you know that? He had to start all over again in life and learn something new. And it took him a while to learn how to do this synergy business. But why is he such a magnet? Why do people want to listen to him? I tell you why. It's called belief system, all right? Do you ever notice this? You notice he told you about the first time he talked to somebody? Remember this experience? The other guy told him, oh, I already have something. That sounds stupid. I don't want to do it. Now, what? Anybody ever have that experience before other than me? Okay? You have that happen to you. That's a learning process, a curve that you go through as you begin to get educated. Bob has a system to educate you to shorten that learning curve. Otherwise, you're going to go, just get crap beat out of you every time, okay? But you start in this training process, and it helps you so that you can step your way up to having this belief system that's strong. Because here's what happens. And there's two things that build belief system. One is learning about it, okay? One is, and I can tell you, let me tell you something about the product. People ask me, say, well, tell me about the product. I say, it works, okay? It works on everybody every time without exception. So just use it and try it. I promise you it works. We have 120-day money-back guarantee. Less than 1% of the people return it. What do you think happens? Why do you think nobody returns it? We have the highest retention rate in the business, right? You guys know what the nutritional industry retention rate is for people buying product? It's 8 to 13%. Do you know what ours is? Anybody here know what it is? 53% last year. 53%. Why is it 5 times bigger? Because the product probably works. It's not brain surgery here. I don't need to. I tell people, well, I want to be tested. Then go to your doctor. Have him run a full cardiovascular workup on you. Take our blasted product. Go get tested again. There, you found out it works. Or you can just buy the product and use it. Find out it works. Right? Just use it and you'll be able to sense and feel the difference. That's the cool thing about us. Our product works with everybody every time. Okay? So what you really need to focus on is a business. Quit worrying about the product. It works every time. Okay? What you really need to understand is, how does a business work? Well, what makes people want to join you? They want to join you because you know that the product works. You believe in it. Here's what happens. When you go out, believe me, I know this because it happens to me. It's happened to me. It doesn't happen to me anymore, but it's happened to me before. And it's a learning curve. And it's this: when somebody's disbelief system and their disbelief in their head is stronger than your belief, and you go to them, they just go and smash you to pieces, right? Yeah. But what happens when your belief system is up here and their disbelief system is here? What happens? It doesn't matter what they say. They can't say anything to you. Remember, I don't believe in rebuttals. They say, oh, well, if they say this, here's this rebuttal that. You say this, here's your rebuttal that. I don't believe in it. I believe that if your belief system is here, they can't tell you anything that is going to shake you. When your faith and belief and understanding is here, there's nothing, absolutely nothing they can do. You are impregnable. You are immovable. So what happens is when they say it, they try to beat you and they can't do anything. So what they do is they back up and they say, wow, they really believe in that. Maybe there's something to that. Do you ever notice that some of the people that say you know, that a little while later they come back to you and say, well, what is it that you're doing? I have people in my neighborhood that come up to me and say, can you tell me a little bit more? Matter of fact, I got a neighbor across the street that wants to join. I do not want to bring him in at all because he will require so much out of me. I just don't want to give it, okay? Because I know he's lacking. He doesn't have any faith in anything. Good crap, he would suck me dry, okay? True, right, Rudy? There's people like that. You just gotta go, I'm not gonna sign you up. I'm sorry, man. It's not gonna work for me. Okay? When your belief system is there, you can make those kind of choices. And you're not that far. The difference between here and here is just between here and here. That's all it is. It's all just in your mind. It's all just a mindset. It's all what your belief system that you've had. And if you change that, I promise you something. You'll change your business. And I can tell you something else. It'll change your life. I love the song Happy, that Despicable Me 2 song. Happiness is good. Everybody's heard that song? I love that song. It's like my theme song. One of my partners calls me the CHO, Chief Happiness Officer. Wow. For me, when we nicknamed Dane, the DOH, Director of Happiness. That is, for me, that's what this business is about. For me, that's what my life's about. It's about having belief strong enough that you can, you ever notice leaders, what happens? They have this really strong belief system and people follow people who believe in something because most people don't believe in very much. Crud, they hardly believe in themselves. They just don't believe. But if you can muster within you belief, all of a sudden, you're going to notice that people want to follow you. They want to be with you because everybody wants to follow someone who believes. That's why he's a human magnet. He believes. Do you believe he believes?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Rudy, do you believe Rudy believes?
Oh, yeah.
Unquestionable. And that's why people follow, because that's what makes a leader. And each of you are leaders. If you bring that belief system up, make it impregnable. Make it so that nothing can move it. Make it completely unmovable. And then, I'm telling you, the world's your oyster, man. You can do anything in synergy. Does it take some time and some hard work? There are other things you got to do, hard work, yeah, CDs, brochures, all that, yeah. You got to talk. The more you talk, the more you tell people about it, guess what happens to your belief? It grows. That's why his belief is so stinking strong. He never shuts up about it. Okay? Always. Really. It's true. Because he does that, his belief level is up. Your belief level do the same thing if you do the same thing. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Just a little bit about how you talk to somebody. I mean, you don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I'm teaching people about talking about the business, about the product, listen, here's the difference. Like I got some friends of mine, they'll come up and they'll say, well, I got a great product, it's Synergy, and it's a really wonderful product. Here's a brochure, and I'm telling you, if you use it, this product's gonna make a difference. What are you gonna say to somebody who does that?
Thank you.
Goodbye, right? Okay, when your belief system's here and you add one more element to that, you add energy to it, because your belief system's here, does that help your energy when your belief system is solid? Okay, so you get that belief system solid. Now, your energy is just there, man. Now you can say, hey, you know what? You need to try our product. It flat works on everybody. Well, it'll work on me. I told you, it works on everybody. Okay? Use my product. It's going to work. I promise. But after you use the product, you're probably going to want to do the business. But get on the blasted product and get on it today. Well, do you have, first thing you say is, well, where is it? How do I try it? What is it? They don't even know what it does. Okay? I'm telling you, energy along with your belief makes a difference. Just makes a difference, folks. Is that what you want?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Get some arginine in the air. I don't think you have much energy up here. Let's go. You know, we were in the airport in Salt Lake City. He and I, our plane was delayed.
Yeah.
Way too long. And then, where was that lady from? Laos?
Yeah, she was from Laos.
And she comes over and we start telling her about the product. And this
Originally from Laos. Now, of course, she lives in the United States.
Yeah, she lives in Cincinnati or somewhere.
Yeah.
But she was talking to Eric and she goes, now what kind of product is this? And she goes, well, you know, Eric goes, it works. Don't worry about it. It works. The same thing he would say here. Now, I know we've been here a little bit, but I want Rudy to talk to us. And then I want Bob to finish up because we put together this whole program for people to be successful. Bob's the administrator of the program. And so I want everybody to understand what he does and the resources that we have. And nobody explains it better than Bob. Rudy is a presidential. Rudy is my buddy. Rudy is my golf guy. Rudy is awesome. I mean, my wife even likes Rudy.
Listen, I have pictures on our vacations, more of them with Rudy than with me, with my wife.
Well, good thing you have a girlfriend now. But everybody, you know, I think the world of Rudy, just like I do Eric. I love these two guys. They're awesome. And I want you to hear from Rudy because Rudy's been in this business longer than any of us, and he's a real professional. And so I want you to talk about
Except
that.
for you, Dane.
No.
Well, you got in pretty early.
No,
Yeah, but you've been in the business
In the
of
business.
MLM for
For a long time, yeah.
You're a good man. Got it.
I've been in for quite a bit. What an amazing evening already. With some great testimonials already. And Eric, what an awesome job on belief. And that's really what it takes. If you're gonna, you can go through a wall if you really, really believe. And for me, I started in this industry, as they said, a long time ago. I'm 42 now. I started when I was 22. It's been over 20 years. What I think we can all agree upon, what's not on trial here is what? Cinematic. Or the product.
Yeah.
It's not on trial. We're not going anywhere. We're absolutely rock solid. But I got to ask you a question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Are you here because you want to have a better quality of life? What would it mean to you to be the master of your life and your finances? What would it mean to you if your finances were no longer a question? What would that mean to you and your lifestyle? You know, I asked those same questions to myself when I first got started, and I realized at a young age. For me, I had an aha moment, and I think everyone in our life, if you're getting involved in this great profession of network marketing, you have that aha moment when you realize that, you know, my current job isn't going to take me where I want to go. It's not going to allow me to live the kind of lifestyle that I deserve to live. Not that I want to live, but we all deserve to live. Because isn't it, you know, don't we buy this hook, line, and sinker with our parents? You know, go get a great education. Go get a great job. Keep your nose down. Work really, really hard. We bought into that. How many of you guys bought into that as young people? We all did, right? Yeah. I did too. So my aha moment was when my father lost his job at 55 years old after working for the same company for over 23 years. Bought and sold, moved out of the country for what? Cheaper labor. Newsflash, are those manufacturing jobs coming back to the United States? No, they're not. You know why? Because of technology. Technology's changed the game. You know what you know, those jobs that men and women once did, robots do that. They're more efficient, they're quicker. Guess what they don't want? Raises. Guess what? They show up on time, don't they? They don't have unions, do they? None of that's gone. That landscape, our economic landscape has changed. So what are some of the things that we can do to take control of our life? To have control of our finances. But more importantly, I believe, to have control of our time. Because can we all agree that once this moment's gone, it's gone forever. We can always make more money, but we can never get more time. And that's what we're after here. When you look at when you join a business, the profession of network marketing, you join up with Synergy Worldwide, you're beginning to leverage other people's time. Because isn't that what we were taught in school? Show up on time, go work for a boss. Isn't that correct? So we work for a boss, but who gets wealthy? The owner of that company gets wealthy, don't they? So does it make a lot of sense to put 40, 50, 60 hours in a week to build someone else's dream and not yours? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So what Synergy does for you gives you the opportunity to own your own life, to get your time back. Because as we go out and share this business, because this is a business, we treat it like a hobby, it reacts like a hobby, right? One of my favorite hobbies of all time, I do it with Dane all the time. Well, when I can, not all the time, but golf. Guess what golf costs me? Money. Hobbies cost you what? Money. A business shouldn't cost you money, right? It should make you money. So we need to treat it as such. So we keep that in your mind as you're out there sharing this product and sharing the profession of networking. But we're helping our bosses get wealthy. When we can take control of it, we begin to leverage other people's time. And you guys all heard of the gentleman in J. Paul Getty. What did he say? I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Leveraging someone else's time, right? Because there's only so many hours in a day. So that's all we're doing. We're building a volunteer army. An army who wants something better for themselves. Who know they deserve it. Who know they can have a better quality of life. To do the things they want to do. Because I think we all want a few simple things, right? We all want a roof over our head, a nice house. We want to live somewhere safe. Correct? Mm-hmm. We want to have our kids go to some great schools, right? Yeah. We want to be able to go on vacation when we want to go on vacation, maybe more than one a year. We want a little money in the bank for some security. That's all we want. And you deserve it. And you can have it. You can have that here because there's nothing more noble that you can do to go out and share these incredible products that Synergy has. There's nothing more noble that you can do to go out and give someone a hand up because people are wanting hope. And what we represent is hope. You have the opportunity to get your life back. If you so choose to roll up your sleeve and get to work. Because what the great part about this is there's a revolution happening. And over the next 3 to 5 years, there's going to be 35 to 45 million men and women around the world joining the profession of network marketing. They could be either part of your business or they won't be. That's entirely up to you. But they're coming because there's no other answer. Is there a better answer out there, guys? Do we see it getting better? No, it's not. So this is our opportunity. This is the people's, what I always call the people's franchise. It's people helping people. And we have that opportunity to help our brothers and sisters and lift them up from a better quality of life. But on top of it, we just so happen to have the greatest products in the world. On top of it, we were the company who's creating a lab, investing over 30 to 35 million over the next 3 to 5 years into their IT with Oracle. We've got a doctor on board already who's going to be doing clinical studies, patenting our own products, and we're going to bring on doctor after doctor. We're going to be so well positioned in this great and so well positioned as far as network marketing companies are concerned with credibility. Guess where they're all going to come in droves? Here, because the companies who don't have that, they'll be weeded out and gone. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of money out there, right? And our money it's important to us, right? Because it takes work to earn that. If we're going to spend it, we want to know we're spending it the best, and we want to know there's real science behind it. And we want to know, guess what? You're an ethical company. Forbes magazine, Nature Sunshine, Top 100, only network marketing company on that list. Only network marketing company. You should be shouting from the rooftops. You should be proud of what you do. I hope you decide to roll up your sleeves and go to work. I hope you decide to find out why. People don't care what you do, they care why you do it. Explain why you do it. Get out there and share this business. Get there this weekend and come to Gold Camp. Build your belief. You know, Dane asked me to come out and speak here. Not one of you are part of my business. Not one of you in this room. Not one. Why do we do that? It's because we have a responsibility of giving back. Why do I fly from Seattle to be here today? Because I have a personal responsibility to give back. My mission's not done yet. There's thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of people that we need to help. and we will. So thank you, Dane.
Thanks, Rudy. You're awesome.
Thanks,
You did
Dana.
such a great job. Both you and Eric. How many times you go snowboarding this month, Eric?
Well, since we've been home, I've been up 5 times,
How long we been home?
10 days.
2 days.
That makes sense. I've seen him on Facebook about 10. That's right. On the mountain, smiling, having fun.
Does he own his life, Rudy?
He owns his life.
He can do what he wants to do. And we can go anywhere we want.
Yeah,
We can do whatever we want. My wife asked me, she'll go sometimes, hey, we're going to this meeting tonight. You gonna talk about synergy? And I go, you like that car you drive? You like that house you live in? You like to go to Europe on vacation with your daughter? How do you like that? You want me to quit talking about synergy so you can quit doing all that stuff? And really, if Howard was here, he says, Dane, you gotta call this the Synergy House. And everything that I have is basically because of Synergy. And yeah, I worked in the lumber business. I made a good salary. I'd go to my boss, I'd go, geez, his name was Dan. Dan, I need a raise, man. We're taking this company from 10 million to 20 million to 30 million. I go, when am I gonna get a raise? Hey, Dan, you made an extra $3,000 or $10,000. I go, come on. Yeah, Rudy.
How much did you make more in Synergy or in Major League Baseball?
Oh, a lot more than Synergy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, most ever made in baseball is $240,000 a year. But this has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And really, Rudy, is there a better time to get in?
There's never a better, no, couldn't be a better time.
And he talked about the $30 million we're gonna put in IT. We talked to the CEO of Nature Sunshine, Rudy and I did in Hawaii, putting $30 million in IT. They're putting over $3 million in a brand new lab. They hired this guy named, what's his name, Matt Tripp?
Yeah.
Matthew Tripp, and he's a PhD. He's very well recognized in our business.
Yeah.
And the CEO of Nature Sunshine told me they've been trying to get this guy for a long time. To get him to come in and do the testing on our product. And they're building a lab right down here at Thanksgiving Point. They're investing over $3 million, and they hired this guy. So they're gonna have all kinds of clinical studies for us that we can take out. And look at Synergy did a clinical study at the High Desert Heart Institute. If that study's not successful, Synergy's out of business. And they were doing probably $80, $90 million a year in sales. They were a profitable company, but yet they took the chance to go down and do a clinical study to prove what Pro-Arginine Plus did for 33 people. They didn't have to do that. I don't know very many companies that do that. Why don't they do it? Because their products aren't good enough, in a clinical study to use to get any significant results.
Yeah.
But ours does. And the results, according to Dr. Siva, were phenomenal, remarkable. And Dan Austin, who was the head of the study, who was a registered nurse, worked side by side with Dr. Siva. He's been in the cardio care business for over 25 years, right? Is that 25 years, Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, Dane, and he tells us this anytime I have a conference call with him. Pro-Arginine Plus is the single best product he has ever seen. Pharmaceutical grade, nutritional grade, whatever. Pro-Arginine Plus is the best product that he's ever seen for cardiovascular disease. That's a pretty high statement to make, and we should be shouting that from our rooftops. And that's what I do. Hey, I just put it out there. If they don't want to take it, that's up to them. I don't care. I move on to the next guy. I don't even care anymore. I mean, I've gotten pretty calloused over this. Somebody would say, hey, I better go check with my doctor. I said, do you call your doctor when you go to McDonald's and order a cheeseburger? Do you think that's good for you? So this is, and Eric, I'm serious when I tell you this. He just says, don't worry about the product, it works. It works, don't worry about it. Let's move on. And so that's what we got to get across. But what we try to do with Bob and with my organization is we've tried to make it as easy as we can for everybody in here. So, because if you sign up somebody, everybody goes, now what do I do? Now what do I do? Where do I go now? We're trying to answer that question for you by putting together this program that we have. And I want Bob to come up. He's the administrator of everything that we do. And he's awesome. He's organized. He's nice. He's good to people. He's patient. He's kind. He's considerate. He's all those things that you want. See, if Josh signs up somebody, and he's gonna say, well, call this guy, then he goes, oh man, I wonder how this guy's gonna treat him now. I'm a little nervous about turning over this guy. Well, you don't have to be that way with Bob. He's professional. He does it just the way you would want it done for anybody that you sign up in this business. And so I want Bob to come up and talk about, people want to build a business. If you don't want to build a business, you can go back up and eat some more of the food game. Because there's some, you're staying here. But there's food up there, but I want Bob to talk about how you build our business. And he's really good at this. Okay,
Yeah, Bob.
He left out handsome.
Yeah, handsome too. Woo!
That was on purpose. Really told me to.
He doesn't like to feel the competition.
You're married, Judy isn't.
Somebody left the door unlocked. Josh got in. Howie got scraped in here just now. Eric. Good to have you guys.
Oh, that's good. You just missed Dane's talk about the company.
I want to key up a couple of things I just heard. Howie, it's good to see you. Josh, it's good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Well, anyway, just a couple of things really quick. Just a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity I was on a little bit of a road trip, so I swung into the High Desert Heart Institute down in Victorville, California, walked in the front door, went down to see Dan Austin, and on the wall in the High Desert Heart Institute, there's a poster of Pro Arginine Plus. It's beautiful. It's framed. It's hanging on the wall. Dan Austin took Bonnie and I through this beautiful tour of their facility, and then we got our pictures taken with Dan Austin in front of that poster of Pro Arginine Plus. It was really a neat experience. It was good for me. It's good for my wife, Bonnie. Got the pictures in my phone. It was really neat. On that same trip, I went on down to LA, and just a moment ago, J. Paul Getty's name was mentioned. Leveraging 100 people 1% of the time. We just talked about that. Just a month ago, I hopped on a tram and went to the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. And I don't know how many of you have ever had a chance to go to the Getty Museum, but it's unbelievable. And I'm convinced that he learned how to leverage people, because the legacy that man has left is unreal. I got so overwhelmed with the artwork at the Getty Museum that I started just looking at the tables, because the tables were solid marble, imported marble. I was dumbfounded by the tables themselves. It's an incredible experience. So everybody's been fed some really good information tonight. Eric Glenn just released more energy in front of you in 10 minutes than I have released in the last month. Remarkably, you're going to catch on fire. But it's awesome. But the thing is that we're not all Eric Glenn. And we're not all Dane Origin. We're not all Rudy Pedrosa. We aren't. It's that diversity of personality and character that adds flavor and spice to what we do. My strength has never been my over and rambunctious personality. I'm quiet by nature, I'm more of a listener. But it's a suit that I wear it well, and I'm glad that I wear that suit, because there's a place for that in the industry as well. There needs to be a calm voice in the storm. There needs to be someone who can direct and guide and take care of things. And I love that. And I love the fact that I'm in a position within Dane's organization to be able to do that very thing. That email comes to me from Joe Blue, who I don't even know, and they live somewhere I've never even heard of, and they've got some oddball question, and I'm able to find them direction, get them a little bit of help with whatever that issue happens to be. That's a joyful thing to me, and I'm glad to be able to do it. I'm proud to be a part of Synergy Worldwide. I've been involved now with the company for a little over 4 years. I'm team leader. I've not advanced beyond team leader, but I will. I live in rural America, and I think it's another point that I want to make here tonight is that you don't need to live in Seattle or here in Utah Valley to make a living with Synergy worldwide. I live out in the country, and there's a reason for that. You know, I am by nature just kind of a farm kid, and I own a farm, and I live out in the country in a beautiful place on Little Bear Ridge. Ever heard of Little Bear? I can go down to my canyon and see bears and elk and deer and bobcat. That's where I live, but I can still do my Synergy business. We talked a little while ago about other Synergy products besides Pro-Arginine Plus. E9 was mentioned. When I left the house to come down here, I drove 700 miles yesterday to come to this meeting. And the last thing I got before I left the house was, Dad, can you bring me a box of E9? And I got here and I called my son in Texas and he said, Dad, I need to order 4 boxes of E9. We have other products that we market besides Pro-Arginine Plus, and all of our distributors need to know that and understand that. Now, with regard to what I want to share with you tonight, Dane's left the boring part for me at the end here where everybody's falling asleep. But that's okay. What we have created, what we've tried to create for all of our distributors, and we cross lines with this. Rudy mentioned that there's no monetary value here in this organization for his organization. But Dane and I run into this as well. People come from all across the line, various lines in the downline matrix to touch bases with us and to get information. We've been doing that right along, and we're helping people from wherever they happen to come from. We've created some things. We have a website, and if you haven't been there, you need to go there. It's called globalhealthmakeover.com. Check it out. We have resources there. We have a variety of articles. They're categorized. So if you're looking for a specific article, you can go right to our website. There's no conflict of interest. We don't sell any product off of the website. You can go there and get information. We archive our conference calls there. There's a resource tab. You just hover your arrow on resource, a whole tab opens up. There's a cardio wellness library. We have 16 dedicated videos. You can just highlight that URL and send it to anybody you want. There's no cost involved. It doesn't cost you anything as a distributor. What a great tool. It's a great resource.
Tell them about
for you.
Dan Hammer, just a little bit. He
Yeah,
did.
all of these videos were created for us by Dan Hammer of Gino Valley in Chicago. Dan's an exercise physiologist. If you don't know him, you're missing out. He's a bright guy, and he's really a tremendous asset to the company. He certainly has been for us. He's the one that's created these videos, and we've really keyed off of Dan Hammer's training and all the various videos that he has. We've created a YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube and type in Global Health Makeover, you'll find our videos there. We have a Facebook page, Global Health Makeover. I get these little notices that, so-and-so liked your Facebook page, and I'll go and I'll check it out, and they're like from Finland and in Norway. I mean, I can't even pronounce their names. It's exciting, all kinds of things there. Go there. We have information for you there. But that website that we've created is really, really helpful. And we have people from all of the company that go to our website to get information. On that website, we have training. Now Dan Hammer and Gene LaValle put together the Team 6 training program. It's a simple program. It really is. It's an 8-week commitment, but it's a simple commitment. Every week, I send out I get an email from Dan Hammer with the information, and I send that out to all of our people. So you get an email. There's a link on there for video for you to watch, and some maybe some supplemental things for you to take a look at. Click on the link, watch the video. At the end of the video, there's a little bit of homework to do. Once a week for half an hour, we're on the phone together, 6 of us on one call. It's really simple. 6 of us on a call together for half an hour, 30 minutes. And we talk about that previous commitment that we made, the video that we just watched. We go through everything. We start with your what and your why. Your goals that you're making, the motivation that drives you to do the things you're doing. And we just go right through things. It's easy, it's simple, and it's all the stepping stones that you need. You can get all the resources and learn how to do things within your Synergy business that really will propel your Synergy business forward. Rudy mentioned that you've got to learn to treat your business as a business, and that's exactly right. Otherwise, it is just a hobby. If you treat it as I've been in several businesses. I was up in Montana for a long time. We ranched up there and raised cattle, and we had a meat company, and And I make the joke sometimes, you know, what it costs to get into Synergy Worldwide. When's the last time you had to buy a manure spreader? Anybody in here ever bought a manure spreader? Well, yeah, they're expensive. And you pull it behind your tractor and you spread manure. Well, let me tell you, getting a Synergy business started for $25, and then an initial loader is a lot less money than a simple tool like that. I've been in business on and off my entire adult life. And from the time I left high school, I went into management with a company early on. Actually, it's an interesting story because I went to work for a company called Kaiser's Nutrition Centers out of Santa Barbara, California. When I was 19 years old, I went into management with that company. And my background, my early background was in nutrition. That's where I met G. Edward Griffin and some other people back when I was 18, 19 years old. And that's where I launched my career from. But we've got everything for you. On Saturdays, we do a live webinar. Now, if you're in my contact list, you know every week when that webinar is coming up and what the webinar is going to be about. If you're in my contact list, if you're not, get your information to me. Get your contact information to me so I can get it in the system, and you'll find out every week what the Saturday webinar is going to be about. And they're archived, so you can go back and look at them later. We have Team 6 training. We've got our Global Health Makeover website. We have tools. I had a lady call me from Canada one time. She wanted all these CDs and brochures, all kinds of different things. And I said, we could give them a lot of stuff. I mean, it was like hundreds of brochures. And she said, you got to tool up. And I thought, well, that's a great expression. And it fits, it works. You do need some tools. And we have those tools available for you wherever Dane goes. And it's the same with me. You go out to my truck right now. I've got product in my truck. I've got brochures in there. I've got CDs in there. I love that High Desert Heart Institute CD that Sound Concepts put together. It's off the charts good. It's Dan Austin interviewing Dr. Siva. If you haven't heard it, you need to get it. It's perfect. All of those things are available. On our website, you can go, there's a little store and you can order stuff. We don't sell books and stuff, but we link it directly to Amazon. So if you see Dr. Naro's book, you click on it, takes you to Amazon, and you can buy the book. We even cut out the step that you have to go through to go to Amazon. We try to make it as simple as possible. Again, there's no conflict of interest with that website, globalhealthmakeover.com. You'll find the stuff you need right there. But we're here to help. Now, Eric was talking about he doesn't want to sign up his neighbor because he's going to suck you dry for information. And unfortunately for me, Dane doesn't have that attitude. Dane simply says, sign up, I'll sponsor you, and then call Bob.
And that's what I'm gonna start doing. I have signed up for that whole
Exactly what I
program,
did.
and that's going on right now.
Call Bob.
I did that. Matter of fact, you've had a couple of people call you because
You
I
see
gave
this
them.
thing here?
Yeah.
If Bob needs to go to the bathroom, so does this. Yeah, it's incredible, but it's all good. It's all good, and we're here to help everybody. We want to help everyone. I'm convinced of what we do. I am a product of the product, and really, we're plumb out of time. But I'm going to share
One testimonial. Tell them your
Let me share
testimonial.
one little story with you. My wife Bonnie and I, we have 5 kids. We have 11 grandkids, and we've been married for over 40 years. And I'm telling you, I was hitchhiking across America when I met Bonnie Jean. We were just kids, and I saw that girl playing softball with blonde hair, and she had these cut off. Oh, I was I made an effort to go up and say hello to this girl. That was more than 40 years ago, and I love this girl. I mean, Josh, me and Bonnie were pals, huh?
Yeah.
And we have been for a long time. And anyway, Bonnie's mom was diabetic. Her name was Donna, and she became blind, legally blind, by virtue of the diabetes that she suffered from. And then she had heart disease and had to go into the hospital for heart surgery. And so Bonnie took off, and her sisters, and we all met together down here. It was in Utah. And there her mom went in and had to have open heart surgery. Her internal organs swelled up so badly that they couldn't close her chest cavity up after the surgery was open. You know how they do that thing, And they just had a piece of kind of clear cellophane over her chest. And so the family would go in to see Bonnie's mom, and there's that little heart of hers in there like this. just trying so hard and so swollen that they can't close her up. She laid there like that for more than a month, and then she died. Now, I don't know how it is for everybody else, but for the grace of God, my Bonnie girl could be in that same place. It was so much like her mom. And the very thought of that, the very thought of us ending this remarkable love affair that we've had for so long, ending up in that kind of a scenario is beyond my comprehension. I can't deal with that. And when I heard about Proarginine, I studied. I read Ignaro's book. I read Cook's book. I read Dr. Joe's book. I didn't know who Dr. Joe was. I read his book. And I started taking the product, and she started taking the product. And we watched her blood pressure come down to normal ranges. Watched mine come down. All the meds gone out of the house. Changed everything. She could have been the poster girl for Proarginine Plus. It's changed our lives in a profound way. And I'm grateful for that. We're not marketing a bar of soap that you got to stack up in your garage. We bring value to people's lives. What we have changes lives and saves lives. And there's nobility in that. I believe that with all my heart, that what we do has value. And so I have a passion for it, and will continue to do so. I want to help you any way I can. And I don't do marriage counseling, or financial counseling. Got to call Mr. Orge if you need marriage counseling. Don't call Ruby.
You do know.
Actually, don't call him, call Gabe.
Call Gabe. All right.
She
Dane,
put up
anything
with
else?
him.
Did I leave anything out?
No, Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
Anybody wants to build a business, Bob's exactly right. When they say, what do? I go, call Bob. I mean, I really do. And that's what he does for our organization. Call Bob. Yeah, he's 100 times, I'm a good guy at sharing the product and telling what the product does. Bob's my business builder. He helps put these people in place where they can be successful. He shows them how to do the business. And it's all set up. It's the simplest thing in the world. And I sold lumber, and I guarded my people because I was out there talking to the biggest lumber yards in the state of Utah, and I didn't trust anybody else to do it and count the lumber because they'd screw it up. And I could deal with these guys and sell them a lot of lumber. Well, Bob doesn't screw it up. He does a lot better job than I do. So it's so simple for you guys to build your business. What do? Get in a Team 6 training program, get some books, learn about the product, get some brochures. How do I do that? Call Bob. Simple, simple. And that way I can go out and recruit and do the things that I do. Bob will be with our organization as long as I'm here because of the job that he does for us. And we need to use it. He's right. We got this Global Health Makeover website. Doesn't sell anything, all informational. Bruce Bochy, manager of the Giants. Bruce, you have any questions? Get on the Global Health Makeover website. Everything's on there. You have any problem? Call Bob. I had a lady send me an email the other day, and she goes, hey, Dane, where's that physicians thing, that talks about, I go, what's her name in Tampa?
Tammy Hester.
Huh?
Tammy Hester.
Don't ask me, this is Bob's
She
number.
called Bob.
Call him. I mean, that's what I do, and that's what's open to everybody here. It's available for everybody. He's the best at it. That's why I use him.
I appreciate it too. And people come into this thing on all different levels. I had a call just the other day from Quebec, and that particular new distributor is a PhD, some brilliant guys from Jamaica, lives in Canada. He had different kinds of questions, perhaps, than maybe Mr. Ross would have coming out of. Where is he from? Wyoming, somewhere.
You mean Little Mike?
Yeah, Mike. It's just everybody comes into this thing a little bit differently, and so having a little background is helpful. But anyway, thanks a lot, you guys.
Okay, thanks,
Dave.
Bob. And you know what? If you're interested in the business, use Bob. He's better than we are at it. I'm telling you. He's kind. He's nice. He's patient. He's everything most of us aren't, especially Jared. But that's okay. Just kidding, Jared. That's if you're awake. but everything's good. Is Howie here?
He left.
Okay, we had the, but stick around, ask any questions. Does anybody, I mean, I've left people out. If anybody has something to say, you're welcome to stand up and say it. You raising your hand, Lillian?
No, I'm okay.
Or you're like this, just scratching your head?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
But involves your meeting.
But we'll stick around. Bob will be here. Rudy will be here. Eric will be here. Josh knows all kinds about, I mean, Josh has been awesome. There's a lot, Mike, he's from Wyoming.
That
But we
explains
love
it all,
it.
baby.
But everything's good. So just stick around, ask questions, do whatever you want, eat the rest of the food Gabe's prepared. Yeah, Wayne.
The people in Chicago said, so amazing, keep going. They're thrilled with this.
Well, I don't know any, Lily Beth, you want to do your testimony? Okay, she don't want to. Okay, okay, sorry, Lily Beth.
Do you have any testimonials about high cholesterol?
Oh.
I mean, I've
High
never
cholesterol,
heard.
high cholesterol. Yeah, you listen to that CD that Bob mentioned, the High Desert
The
Heart
one that
Institute.
you just gave me?
Yeah, it talks all about, Dr. Siva talks about cholesterol in there, how it raised the HDL, lowered the LDL.
Oh.
It's in there.
And the green product that you were talking about, the powder,
Yeah,
I just found out, I never knew about that. I thought it was the one with mint in it, but the
that's
other.
corporate. But,
The other one.
but that's what I'm talking about. Any questions you have, this is your resource.
Chino Valley, I'm getting you a new phone number, 1-800, call Bob.
I like it. I like it. Get it. We're doing it.
But it's all good. People can stay as long as they want. They can ask questions. Tomorrow we have, what time, where'd Rudy go? What's that mean
He's upstairs
tomorrow?
having that dessert that I was gonna go get. He told me I couldn't go have.
You're gonna have it. Hey, but tomorrow night we have a meeting. It's awesome.
Yeah,
There's training on Saturday for anybody who wants to go to Gold Camp. It's incredible. But we have all of our own training. We have everything that anybody would need to build this business. So, okay, thank you.